Peace, y'all. How's it going? It's your girl, Layla Bros. So I wanted to make this video just to kind of get to the point. I'm in the last week of my 20s, like, y'all. It's crazy how, like, time really flies, and they don't tell you how fast your 20s go, but baby, they be going. So I decided that I wanted to share, like, 5 tips with people who are, like, entering their 20s, or, like, people who just want to, like, I guess kind of have like an overview of what I learned that I would definitely share that could maybe help someone. So without further ado, let's get into it. So the first one I would say is society's timeline is not your timeline. Like, don't see somebody achieving great things every week and feel like you're behind, because baby, if you're in your 20s and you feel like you haven't accomplished da 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 da, and you're comparing your life to what you see on TV, like, no, you still have all the time, well, a lot of time to decide who you are, because a lot of the first years of your 20s is undoing like what you've been programmed into. So you're really not even like an adult yet, you're like a baby adult, so like you have to take your time with things. There is no rush. Don't let nobody tell you you're behind. Don't let nobody tell you that, oh, it's not going to happen because you didn't do it by this age. That's not the truth. Like, I could even go over the list of a few people who have done amazing things in their 40s, 50s, 60s, but like, we know that that's possible. We've seen it so many times. So like, don't let anybody rush you. Number 2, I would say set boundaries firm. So like, you can have certain boundaries that are a little bit like have wiggle room, but certain ones like firm boundaries. Like, one of my favorite boundaries, as much as I love my family, I had to set a boundary with them that says, okay, if you need a favor from me, I need to know at least one day in advance. Like, at least, you know what I mean? There is no, I'm gonna call you and can you babysit, can you do my hair, can you do this like the same day? No, because my day is already planned, and it just used to put me in like rush around chaos mode to always try to like adjust what I already had planned for myself to like help other people, because I love helping people, I love helping my family, but sometimes it's like you gotta prioritize yourself. You have to learn that it is not selfish to prioritize your needs. Like, we got one body to take care of, unless you got kids, you got one body to really worry about. So that should be your priority. Like they say on like the airline, you gotta put your mask on first. Put your mask on first, then take care of other people. Like, I noticed in my early 20s, I was a people pleaser, like, big time. Like, I felt guilty if I didn't do everything that everyone needed. And it just took away from my own discipline. It took away from my own, like, ability to set boundaries. And I had to learn kind of the hard way sometimes that, like, you do have to have firm boundaries. Like, oh, no, I'm only going to drink water today. Oh, somebody bought me a coffee, I'll just drink it. No, you set that goal for yourself, or whoever you set that goal for, stand on it. That's how you build more self-confidence, by standing on the boundaries that you set, by standing on the discipline, like the goals that you set. Standing on business, you'll show up with more confidence every time. Number 3, I would say that like people doubting you or saying negative things about what you're trying to do, that's normal, and that's part of the process, and that'll build the sort of like resilience that you need to actually accomplish your goals. So like, don't trip on, oh, this person doesn't support me, or this aunt said something negative, or this cousin ain't showing love, or my best friend ain't sharing the music, like, or whatever it is in your case. Like, don't trip on people who don't support you. Just find the ones that do, even if they're not in your hometown, even if you don't know what that looks like for you yet. What I would do is write down like 5 attributes of you that make you you. Not what you look like, but like just the things you like to do, what you like to read, food you like to eat, like the activities you love. Write down 5 of them, and then find people who match those things. And that's going to be your crowd. It's not going to be people from high school most of the time. It's going to be something that you build based off of your attributes that you're still discovering, and give yourself time to discover them. The next one I would say is, don't assume because you started something in your 20s, it's gonna be that way forever. Like, I know people who were painters that are now musicians. I know people that were musicians that are now actors. I know people that, went from singing to finding out that they loved cooking, or like just a bunch of different things. So just allow yourself to be creative. Creative energy doesn't box you in. Society tries to box you in. So don't let people tell you, well, you were doing that last year. Why are you doing this now? You're allowed to. You're allowed to do whatever you feel like doing. You ain't hurt nobody as long as you're just chasing what you want to chase. One of the things I would also say is do not let what you think your results are define your gifts. There are people who I've seen who put hours, countless hours into their craft, and then they show up getting like either like 5 likes or like 10 listens, or they're not really making that much money, or they sold one painting, and then they start to get discouraged and they think that that means that they're not good enough to be full-time, to make more money, to have the listens, the streams that they could possibly have. So they let that I got the window open, it's hot in here. But they let that discourage them from trying. Again, they're like, no, the last time I tried, I got hurt because I didn't get the recognition that I thought I deserved. And so then they show up halfway or they don't show up at all, and that's self-sabotage. That's the next tip I will get into. Procrastination is a form of self-sabotage. You're not procrastinating because you're lazy. You're not procrastinating because you just don't feel like doing the work. Some of the times that's the reason, but a lot of the times there's this little inner, like, all your inner beliefs will kind of like work together and conspire subconsciously to push you away from the things that are actually going to make you better. For example, the first day you work out, the second day, oh, it's kind of too cold outside, so you sleep in a little, and then because you slept in, now you want to eat the donuts for breakfast, and now you did that, so you don't care about what's for lunch, and it's just that self-sabotage cycle. It'll push you into that cycle. And one of the ways that I've found to get out of it is to just accept when I'm procrastinating. Just, you don't even have to snap back into doing something, but just notice that, I've meant to clean the room all day, but somehow I'm scrolling, or I meant to wash the dishes and I'll do everything but wash the dishes. And then I'll just note it to myself, okay, I'm procrastinating. Then I ask myself, how long does that task take? Like, okay, is this something I could bang out in 10 minutes, or is it something I need more time to actually to handle? And once I do that, I just try to start it. Like, I seen Layla Hermosi, shout out to her, she had this clip I was watching where she was saying, like, eat the frog, do the hard thing. Like, that's the easiest way to get it out of the way. That's the easiest way to build the consistency to make it seem less hard, because a lot of the times, once you can become consistent, things are less hard. And I'm digressing a little bit, but I just wanted to think of like everything I could, and I didn't like write any notes for this. I'm just yapping. But something else I would share is don't be afraid to be different. Like, a lot of the times the thing that makes you different is the thing that the world needs. That's the thing that the world needs to be on display. That's the thing that needs highlighted more. That's the thing that is going to make you stand out. So don't be afraid to be different. Like, there was times where people were trying to tell me like I needed to pick a genre, like you're doing too many genres, you shouldn't sing and rap, you shouldn't do, all of these different musics and all these different like spaces. And I feel like if I would have conformed to what people were telling me, I wouldn't be me. I would be some carbon cutout, you know what I mean. But I wouldn't be who I am, and I just know that that's something that I've seen people like go into their 20s and they try to fit into this mold of what they think they should be and what they should have done already. And just be yourself. Like, that's the simplest, but it's the most honest, like, realness. Just be yourself. Also, I would say don't be afraid to cut people off, because sometimes I feel like, from my perspective of my beliefs, I feel like God will test your boundaries and your self-love by placing certain people. If you had higher levels of self-love, those people wouldn't even be able to stay a day in your life, but he will place them in your life just to see what levels your self-love is at. And the goal is to not let anybody who repeatedly, especially, disrespects your boundaries. The goal is to not give them access to your life. This is your beautiful life. You don't want to share it with people who don't respect it. There's no need to do that. And what sucks is sometimes it's going to be family you have to cut off. Sometimes it's going to be that friend from 3rd grade. Sometimes it's going to be, It's gonna be that relationship. It'll be that relationship a lot of the times. But like, the beautiful part is you become so whole in yourself that you don't mind cutting people off from time to time. It's enough to just be you. And once you become whole on your own, you start to attract better people into your life that do match your actual frequency. And so don't be afraid to cut a bitch off. I think one of the last things I would say is good things take time. I feel like I haven't been as confident or as loving about my style, my look, as I was when I was 21. Now that I'm 30, like I feel like I know what patterns I like. I know what color palette looks best on me. I know what lipstick I like. I know that I like coconut water. You know what I mean? Like all these things that I didn't know when I was 21. So like, take the time to learn who you are. Don't let society shape it for you. Don't let people try to make you seem like you're weird because you don't want to walk the path of everyone else. If you are truly an artist, most of the time you're not going to walk the path of everyone else. You're either carving the path out or you're finding a path that is not, you know, the most obvious. So don't be afraid to not fit in. So it's like the sun is shining kind of awkward on me. Like maybe I should finish talking right here, but am I too close to the camera? Is that more awkward? I don't know. But I would say also true self-love comes from being able to spend time by yourself and to love every aspect of every flaw that society has told you you have, and to just accept that you're different. You were made different for a reason. We don't need two of you. We don't need a million of that person. We need one of you. And showing up as that is the best thing you could do. I'll also say, like, to add this in, don't be afraid to be like weirdly passionate about like what you want to do. Like there are probably people who collect rocks and other people who watch them and be like, damn, that's pretty weird. Like they spend all day obsessing over rocks, but it's just like that's their thing. Like people who obsess over like the small details of like what pencil they want to draw with and things like that. Sometimes that's like not normal to like the general public, but like don't be afraid. And honestly, it's gonna benefit you in the future if you allow your passion to drive your life. And obviously there's roads where that could be a little extreme, but most of the time, like if you're doing things from like a Zen perspective, you're gonna be like slowly carving your way towards the life you actually want.